Last night, I watched the Rugrats movie, and I actually wish I had done a reaction to it, but unfortunately, don't have any way to do reactions right now, because my computer is broken and everything. But I actually was surprised. So when I was little, I was never allowed to watch Rugrats because they called each other names and stuff. But now that I'm 27, I don't think it matters so much. Because I'm not going to just start calling people names because I watched it. But yeah, I saw the movie and I was actually genuinely surprised. So I thought at first that the movie, I didn't think it would be dumb. I don't know much about Rugrats other than the characters' faces, and I did know a little bit about the character Angelica, but I didn't know much about the characters other than that. Other than just their designs and stuff. But I didn't think it was going to be dumb, but I did feel like it'd just be one of those, movies based off of TV shows that worked as a TV show. Though I don't know if the TV show worked, but I don't think the TV show doesn't look dumb exactly. But maybe mean-spirited, but I didn't think the movie would be dumb. I just thought that maybe it would just be one of those things that worked as a TV show, but the adaptation would be kind of, just simple stuff. And I do agree that there were some points where it did feel slow and stuff. Not all the, some stuff did feel like it's clearly added just to extend the runtime. But it had a surprisingly good story. So it's about Tommy's little brother, and, he gets a new brother. And I've seen some movies like that before. So this isn't the first time I've seen, a new arrival jealousy. But how this film did it is probably better than any other, new arrival sibling rivalry story I've seen before. Better than The Boss Baby, of course, because that one is kind of dumb. And even better than, maybe Arthur. I mean, actually, it most certainly was. So the new baby arrives, and Tommy is he's actually a good big brother. He wants to be a good big brother to his little brother. And, sometimes you want to try to make these characters seem sympathetic and, likable. But at times, this baby just did not feel likable, which I think, even though you'd want to be sympathetic of the baby, it's sometimes you're it shows how the baby gets on Tommy's nerves and, how good of a brother he's trying to be. And, so even when the baby is not, likable, it's still a baby, but, Tommy is, that's what Tommy needs to see. And it's it's just Tommy growing to, he wants to support his brother, but his brother can get on his nerves. And sometimes the unrelenting, selfishness of the baby, that's the way babies are, but they're babies. And so we kind of understand that. But it's at the same time, Tommy is his friends are why are you choosing him over us? Well, Tommy is also, feeling that way with his mom. His mom chooses the baby, and it's kind of, Tommy kind of going to see that, him and his brother, he gets to see why his brother is important. And then I think, I don't remember his name, but the one with glasses and the orange hair, I think his name's Chucky, but I don't want to go Chucky the horror movie character, but because maybe that's what I'm thinking. But he's after he decides about the best friend stuff, he's after Tommy left to save his brother, he's of course he did, because who else is going to look after the baby? And it's yeah. So maybe we do see a more selfish side to the baby, but it's not because the baby is necessarily bad. It's just, it's a baby. And in the end, it's Tommy is, coming to see that. And, yeah. And it just, it did feel like I said, it was kind of, I did watch it on my phone, and so I didn't get the full, larger screen experience of even a computer. So it did, there were some points where, I felt like I was starting to tone out. I did get a call from my mom midway through, which interrupted the rhythm a little bit, but so yeah, there were some points where it might have seemed a tiny bit like losing my attention, but maybe that's just because where my mind is at right now. But like for characters I didn't even know before the movie, I was like surprisingly invested in these characters, and I was like, oh, this is an interesting story. And so I don't know, it's just the brother, like how he wants to be a supportive brother, but his brother is trying to get on everybody's nerves, and he doesn't give up. And then even at the moment that he almost does, he like sees his brother as like, just the baby he is. It doesn't need to show, like, by showing the baby as not as sympathetic as, you'd want to, like, trying to make the baby like, oh yeah, the baby takes the blanket and stuff, it's his mine or whatever. Like the baby could have, they could have toned that down a little bit, but then it wouldn't have shown so much like Tommy's emotions of, like with his brother. Like, yes, his brother may be selfish, but that doesn't mean he should stop loving him. And like, yeah, you may argue that, the baby could be dislikable, but it's a baby. So, yeah, that's how babies are. They don't understand selfishness like, older kids do, even though they're all babies technically. And like also with the thing about, like Boss Baby and stuff, Boss Baby, or, makes the baby seem like a grown-up or something. This made the baby seem a little bit older maybe, but it didn't like make them seem like they still felt like they were little kids or whatever, without seeming like they were dumbed down or they were aged up and whatever. And it wasn't mean-spirited, like, I'm sure